Welcome to the Moon Manifesting Podcast with Kyra Howearth. Hi, I'm Kyra, business astrologer, moon manifesting mama, author, teacher, and mentor. I teach you how to harness the energy of the moon, stars, and cosmos so you can manifest your dreams and discover a deeper purpose to your life. Hey there, Moon Manifestors. Welcome to the Moon Manifesting Podcast. It's Kyra here. So on today's episode, I'm going to be guiding you through how to use the 2023 Moon Manifesting Planner. So I've been talking about this a lot in recent episodes, and I thought I'd just do an episode that is purely about the planner to help you get the most out of it, because this is such a helpful resource for manifesting your goals for the year ahead. And I wanted to make sure that if you do have this planner, or maybe you have another planner, that's fine too, but you can absolutely still use what I'm going to be talking about today to help you manifest your goals in the year ahead, because that's what I wish for you all. I really wish that you can take what I'm sharing with you on the podcast and use it to manifest your best life. So if you don't already have your hands on a copy of my planner, you can get this through the show notes below. You will find this on Amazon. In your country, you'll find it if you're in America, I suggest looking for it on Amazon. It's probably going to be the most cheapest way for you to get it. Otherwise, I can post it to you from Australia. But yeah, it takes longer and postage is a bit more expensive. So Amazon is usually a good choice if you're not in Australia. If you're Australia and you can't find it, feel free to message me. I have copies that I can send you. And if you're elsewhere in the world, search on Amazon or other local bookstores. You should be able to find it. And if you cannot, send me a message and I will point you in the right direction. So how to use the 2023 Moon Manifesting Planner. So the first thing I suggest that you do is, on the second page, there's space to write your name. So write your name in it. That's, a powerful thing to do, because it will help you take ownership of the planner. It'll help you ease into using it and make it feel like your own. So I have a little word of welcome here as well, and that kind of includes a bit about how to use the planner. I've written in here, there's so many ways that you can use this planner. Record your daily appointments and meetings, set yearly, monthly, and weekly goals, keep your new and full moon rituals in one place, practice reading astrological transits, record your daily tarot oracle card, write a daily affirmation, use as a gratitude journal, and you can also use it to track your menstrual cycle. There's so many other ways that you can use this planner too. So as I work my way through this, I'll be sharing lots of ways that you can use this planner and how I've been using it myself, and how I've heard others have been using it over the past 2 years that I've been publishing these planners. So I have a handy spread here, which is a 2023 moon calendar. So you'll see all the dates for all the months throughout the year, and there's a little, full moon and new moon thing. So you can easily at a glance see, when the full and new moons are for the year ahead. And that's always something good to know. If you're like me, you probably like to plan your life around the moon. So it's always good to know, looking in advance and be okay, there's a new moon in April here, so I'm going to do this then, sort of thing. Okay, so I have some pages here. They're all about using the planner, which is, kind of what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to read all this out for you. But yeah, there's ways there that I've, put in the planner that show you exactly how I kind of intended it to be used. But there's no rules. Use it however you like. It's all good. It's your planner. Do what you like. So in the first few pages of the Moon Manifesting Planner, you'll find information about the planets, and the zodiac signs, the moon phases. So even if you have no idea about astrology, or you're kind of new to it and maybe you want to learn more, this is a really good place to start because I give you like the basics of it. I give you keywords here so that you can start understanding astrology and those sorts of energies. And you will find, if you're not familiar with astrology, you will probably find that you will refer back to these pages a bit as you like look through the planner and try to decipher what are those little astrological symbols are talking about. So yeah, there's that. There's heaps of reference pages in here about astrology. There's zodiac correspondences, like matching up the zodiac signs with the chakras, with the body parts, with different crystals and herbs that you might like to use, with those zodiac energies. There's information here about the void of course moon times, which are something that I do have in the planner. Void of course moon times are, I find this so important, and I kind of follow this like pretty strictly. I always block off that time from seeing one-on-one clients, like for readings and things. I avoid scheduling other important appointments during those times when the moon is void of course. I avoid doing anything that's that you only really get one shot at. I try to spend that void of course moon time on self-care. I will often do yoga during that time, or meditate, or just have a bath and read a book or something like that, where it's, nothing can kind of go wrong. Because I found that when I first started to learn about void of course moon times, I was just kind of like, oh, whatever, I'll just keep doing my thing. Things would start to go wrong during those times. And so I learned, not just through my own trial and error, but from other astrologers as well. Natalie from Soulshine Astrology talks about this a lot, and so does Sasha, the Pagan Homemaker. They both talk about void of course moons a lot. But these times are really important for like maintenance work. So whether that's, spiritual maintenance or nourishing yourself, or even just like maintenance in your business or your work. If you have stuff that you do need to do for work, then doing more of that maintenance stuff rather than, doing things that are really important. So void of course moons, it's all through the planner so that you can plan your life around those times. So the next section in the 2023 Moon Manifesting Planner is all about a year ahead ritual. So I've kind of gone through this in a bit more detail, and I think that was probably back in episode 94, where I was talking about planning a soul line to 2023. I pretty much just went through this year ahead ritual that's in the planner and kind of elaborated on it a bit. Added some extra information. There's a 12-month spread. There's journal questions for setting your intentions and goals for the year ahead. A monthly planning space, some rituals for you to do, space for a vision board, 2023 goals where you can put your word of the year, affirmation of the year, your number one goal of the year. So then at this space here, on this page here, there is space to either draw, or you can print and paste your natal chart. I wish I had space for this in last year's moon planner. I'm so glad I did it for the 2023 planner because it is always so handy to have your natal chart somewhere where it's easily accessible. So why not have it in your moon planner that you're going to be using on a daily basis anyways? I find it really helpful to have a copy of my natal chart with my planner, because that way I can easily see, for example, the moon's in Taurus. Where is Taurus on my chart? What house is that? Okay, that's the 6th house on my chart. So what does that mean for me today? What area of my life is going to be in focus today? So the 6th house is all to do with your health and your routines. So I find it really helpful for that, as well as maybe looking at other things, throughout the year. Like, okay, Jupiter's in Taurus. What's going on there? Again, 6th house for me. On this other page next to where you're going to either draw or stick your natal chart, I do have the houses and what they mean, a few keywords there. And then there is a blank column here where you can write down which zodiac sign or zodiac signs fall in each of those houses for you. So for example, the first house, my first house is in Scorpio and Sagittarius. So I would put Scorpio and Sagittarius there. And if you want to get technical, you could even put in the exact degrees as well. And then, you know, my second house, that's Sagittarius and Capricorn, and so forth. You can fill out this whole thing so that it's easy to know that, okay, the moon's in Aries today, then, you know, that's in my whatever house. It's just an easy reference thing to help you tune into that energy and how that's, you know, applied to your natal chart. So yeah, that's all of the front section of the book. Your year ahead ritual, your reference pages, that sort of thing, where you're going to get started. And you can do all these pages, you know, whenever you like. Yeah, at any point. So then we go into our monthly section. So of course it's going to start off with January. So every month has this section where I list the full moon and new moon for the month ahead, as well as like a little sentence or two about the energy that's coming up for that. I have a list of the transits, and I'm like trying to show this on the video. It's not really working. Apologies if you're watching. But hopefully you can kind of see like the dates and like those transits. So for example, here I have Venus in Capricorn conjunct Pluto in Capricorn on the 1st of January, and so forth. Like the sun moves into Aquarius on the 20th of January and all that sort of stuff. So that you can look at the month at a glance to see, you know, what sort of astro energy is coming up. Yeah, it's always helpful when planning out your goals and intentions for the month to work in alignment with that cosmic energy. It helps things flow. So then we have this bit of a space here where you can set your intentions and goals for the month ahead. I love this section of my planner, to be really honest with you all. I always look forward to my month ahead ritual where I can tune in to what I want to manifest for the month ahead. What are the things I want to work on? What are the things I want to create? What are the things I want to receive? I write it all down here in my Moon Manifesting Planner on that month ahead page. And I will refer back to that generally like every week, because you will see, if I turn to the right page, so this is the week to view spread that you will have for like every single week of the year. The first little box up here is all about your intentions and goals for the week. So of course, you know, there's often things that just, you know, come up. It's like, okay, I've got to do that this week. But sometimes, well, not sometimes, all of the times, I find it helpful to just refer back to those goals that I set at the start of the month. And like that way you don't forget about them. You're not just like setting it and forgetting it. So I might be like, okay, there was something I wanted to do. I might slot it in to this week. And so I'll put it in as a goal for that week, or, you know, maybe an action step towards that larger monthly goal. So yeah, breaking down those bigger goals into smaller chunks can be so helpful. So before I go into more of those weekly things, I'll just go through these other few pages. So these pages I'm talking about now, you have these same pages for every month. So you have this page here with your monthly goals, the monthly transits, have that for every month. On the next page, we have a herb of the month and a crystal of the month. So in the previous versions of the Moon Manifesting Planner, I just had like these tiny little squares down on the bottom of this page. And I wanted to go deeper. I wanted to go deeper with these tools that I was learning about, with these tools that I was incorporating into my life. And so I've expanded the planner so that you can do that. So for every month, and this is totally optional. If it doesn't vibe with you, leave it out. But every month you can choose a herb and or a crystal to work with. And when I say herb, that could be an essential oil. It could be something that's growing in your garden. It could be a tea that you have. It could be anything, really. And so there's space there to, like, you know, maybe draw a picture or, you know, print something off and paste it on there or whatever. There's space to write out how you're going to connect with that herb or crystal that month. So, you know, it might be diffusing that essential oil in your diffuser, making a roller with that essential oil. It could be having a tea with that herb. It might be actually growing that herb in your garden or having a pot plant of that herb. Maybe Could be anything. Like there's so many ways that you can connect with herbs, depending on, what herb it is and that sort of thing. It will depend, I guess. So, and then same with the crystal, like, how will you connect with that crystal for the month? So maybe you'll have crystal jewelry that you'll wear, so if it was rose quartz, I would probably say I'm going to wear my rose quartz crystal for this month on my necklace. You might have other certain jewelry for different crystals that you might wear. You might keep a tumble in your bra or your pocket. You might put that crystal on your altar for the month. It's totally up to you. Feel free to be as creative as you like with this. You may even like to make some moon water with that crystal if it's, suitable for putting in water. That could be a fun thing to do too. So for both of your herb and crystal of the month, there is space here to record the physical healing properties and the spiritual healing properties. So what I really wanted to do with these pages was create a space where you can learn more deeply about that herb or that crystal that you're working with, and maybe write that out so that you have that information somewhere. I can't tell you about how many crystals I have. Like, I think about over 100 or 150 different tumbles, and I was right into crystals a few years ago, and to be honest, I now just have a few favorites that I use, and there are some crystals in my collection that I kind of pick it up and it's like I kind of know what you are, and I kind of know one or two things about what you can help with, and that's all. And so for me, I'm going to be using this as an opportunity to reconnect with some of those crystals I've kind of forgotten about and rediscover, how I can use them for healing. And as well as like herbs, there's so many different plants and things that you can connect with and learn more about. You might find out what chakras they're good for, whether that's, the herb or the crystal. You might find out, are they good for certain health conditions, or are they, better for certain emotions? Maybe they work good for healing some emotions, some like specific emotions that are coming up. Totally up to you, whatever you write in here. It's really just kind of like making your own reference book, making your own book of shadows, for lack of a better term. It's for your own reference only, and to help you learn more about those things and connect with them on a deeper level. So then over the page, every month has a beautiful little monthly moon calendar. So I have like every single day is labeled, as well as every single moon phase and zodiac sign for every day. There's a column over here to the side for notes that you can add in notes. So something that I love to use this for is for planning out like my business plans, for like my social media posts. Like I might, pop in some notes here, like what things I'm going to be posting on different days. My podcast, I use this for planning my podcast. I generally aim to have a different podcast episode come out every Wednesday. So generally for every Wednesday, I will write out, okay, this is what podcast is coming out today, and that sort of thing. So I generally tend to use this for business because I just find it easy, and that's what I love to do. But you can use this for anything. It might be for appointments, it might be for holidays, it might be for stuff to do with your kids, or whatever it might be. Use it however you want to use it. It is handy there, like working with the moon phases as well. It might help you to plan out things in better alignment with the moon cycle too. So then turning over the page, we have the full moon in Cancer is on this page. We've got journal pages, journal questions on one page, and a tarot spread on the other page. So there's that also for the new moon in Aquarius on the next page, and you'll find that for every single new and full moon for the whole year. There are different journal questions on each for each new and full moon. Like, it's not the same questions being repeated. It's all in alignment with those specific energies that are coming up for that specific new or full moon, and same with the card spreads as well. It's all very specific. And you also find like the exact time that's going to be, like the moon will be full or the moon will be new. all that sort of thing. So yeah, it's there's lots of information there for you. So then we have the week to view spread, which I've shown you before. So yeah, every single day has space for, I might show you on this page because it's a bit easier to hold the book. On every single day has the moon phase and the zodiac sign. I have this little droplet on every day. So I've added this into the 2023 planner as a way to track your menstrual cycle. So my suggestion, what I will probably do is I will color them in red for when I'm menstruating, and I'll probably use a different color, I don't know, like blue or something, for when I'm ovulating, or for when I, you know, based on when my period was, when I estimate I'm going to be ovulating. Because yeah, it's always a good thing to know, like depending on whether you're trying to get pregnant or trying to avoid pregnancy, it's always really good to be in tune with your cycle. And even if you're not, you know, actively trying or not trying to get pregnant, it's still good to be aware of your cycle, because yeah, there's a lot that you can learn by being in touch with your own body, because it can help you in so many different ways. So yeah, we've got menstrual tracking, and again, I'm not sure if you can, oh yeah, you can kind of see it on the camera. It came out a bit fainter with the printing than I had hoped, but there's these little rectangles on each day, which is space to record your daily tarot card or oracle card. We can use it for whatever. Maybe, you know, that's just a little space where you can draw something, or you can put in like a little bit of gratitude, what you're feeling grateful for the day, or a little affirmation or whatever you feel like. There's no rules, right? Okay, so every day where applicable, there is astrological information for what's coming up. So void, of course, moon times, Mercury retrograde begins, astrological things that are happening. So yeah, there is Venus conjunct Mercury there on that one. So that's yeah, on every page where it happens. You know, sometimes you get days where there is nothing astrologically happening, and that's, you know, that's good. That doesn't mean it's a bad day or anything. It's just, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much the planner. So you can use this space. How I use this space is pretty much just like my ongoing to-do list. I will always write down appointments, like with my kids and things, like, you know, where we need to be on certain days. Things on my to-do list that, like, you know, often recurring. Like, for example, there's things that I might do every Wednesday. So I'll generally, like, you know, write that down on a Wednesday at the start of the week. I'll go through and think, okay, what are all the things that need doing every week, slot them into the right days so it gets crossed off and actually gets done, and I don't forget stuff, because that can happen. And what else was I going to say about how to use this? Yeah, there's no right or wrong way. Some people I've noticed who, you know, aren't like me and don't like to write every single little thing down as a to-do list, they prefer to use this as like a moon manifesting planner. So like, you know, just strictly using like the moon manifesting pages with that. And then you might come in here and, like, you know, do your action steps for what you want to manifest, or, you know, do the thing, write down your gratitudes or things like that that are related to those things that you're manifesting with the moon cycle. So we'll flip through to the end of the month here. So at the end of every month, there is a month-end ritual page, which again, I can't quite hold the book open right so I can show you nicely. Okay, so we have a month-end ritual page, and this is just like a journal page with just a few questions about, like, you know, reflecting back on the month. What did you manifest? What are you feeling grateful for? What would you like to change for the month ahead? And what would you like to release? And so, yeah, there's those questions are at the end of every month, and I find it really helpful to reflect every month and to see how far I've grown, how much closer I am to manifesting my goals, or, you know, what goals did manifest. Because sometimes we manifest something and then it's like, okay, that's done, what's next? And we just move on to the next thing without, you know, really celebrating our achievements and allowing ourselves to feel that sense of like, hey, I did something. So this month-end ritual is like, you know, a celebration page. Celebrate what you've achieved and what you've manifested. Feel good about yourself. So that is, yeah, pretty much like the basic format for the planner. It goes through that same basic format where you choose your herb and crystal for every month, setting your intentions and goals. We've got the calendar, the moon stuff, the weekly pages, and that goes through, yeah, for every month. But what I will show you, one last thing, is that at the end of the planner, oh yeah, we have like a little page for like dates to remember for 2024, because, you know, sometimes you have appointments and stuff for the year ahead and don't have anywhere to write it down. So at the end of the planner, I do have some extra pages where you can do like a year-end ritual. And I'm really excited about doing this myself really shortly in my 22 planner. I realize that I'm actually going to be publishing this in 2023 now. But anyway, so by the time you're listening to this, I would have already done it. Anyways, but yeah, it's always a fun ritual to sit down and, you know, look back on the year that's been, you know, that's just happened, and yeah, see how far you've come. So there's space here to reflect on, you know, what happened in each month. So this, I often like to use this space throughout the year. So at the end of each month, like after I've done that month end review page, I might come back to this and just put like a few little dot points about what I've achieved every month, or, you know, what happened, what was the most significant thing that happened, like, you know, went on holidays or got a puppy or whatever it might be. So it's always good to like look back and it's like, oh, you know, that's what I've done with my life. So then there's, yeah, some ritual pages with some different questions. So this one here is all about like releasing the past year, letting go. And then there's a little releasing ritual there. And those are actually, yeah, the only 2 pages I have there. So yeah, I've got, yeah, just a few little year-end ritual pages there for you. There's space here for notes and more notes, a little blurb about me. And then we have at the end a 2024 calendar with those handy full and new moons added in as well. And then one last little thing. On the back page of the Moon Manifesting Planner are some bookmarks that I have designed for you. You can print these off, or no, well, you could if you have the digital planner. You can cut these out is what I meant to say, or you can scan them and print them off if you don't want to actually cut out the pages from your physical book. I also have these in color, so if you're listening and you want the color version, just let me know. I will be so happy to send you through the PDF, because I realized after I designed these in beautiful color, these bookmarks, that of course I was getting the planner printed in black and white. Blonde moment. So if you want the color version, let me know. I'll be so happy to just send that through to you. So you can have some colorful bookmarks for your planner. Yeah, so yeah, you can use bookmarks through your planner. I have a few different bookmarks in my planner that I use in my 2022 planner that I made myself last year. I often put one like at the month ahead ritual page where I can just quickly go back and check my monthly goals, and then I'll just have a bookmark for whatever page I'm currently at, so that I can, you know, flip open to, you know, the current week and be like, oh, that's what I'm doing today. So I hope that this episode was just really helpful for understanding how to use the planner, how to use the Moon Manifesting Planner, whether that's, you know, just getting started with your year ahead rituals or using it on a more day-to-day basis. I've given you a lot of suggestions for different ways that you can use the planner. But again, there's no right or wrong. Like if there's some other way that you want to use the planner, go for it. I would love to know how you're using the planner. Feel free to send me a message on Instagram or send me an email. I'd love to know. And feel free to like send me some photos on Instagram too. I would love to see you using your planner. I'd love to see the planner in action. So yeah, if you're not already following me on Instagram, I'm kyrahowearth.official. The link is in the show notes below as well, so you can easily go check that out and tag me, send me photos, send me messages. I would love to hear from you. All right, so stay tuned for my next episode on the Moon Manifesting podcast. I'm looking forward to chatting with you all again real soon. Stay magical, stay manifesting, and stay tuned. I'll chat with you soon. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Moon Manifesting podcast. If you're wanting more moon magic, check out my book, Moon Manifesting. Download your free Moon Manifesting calendar or connect with me on social media. You can do all of that at kyrahowearth.com.au. Stay magical, stay manifesting, and stay tuned. I'll speak with you in the next episode.